Welcome to KeepItReal Studios, the only channel on YouTube that keeps it real. On February 17th, 2024, Ilia Topuria shocked the world by knocking out Alexander Volkanovski, arguably the greatest featherweight of all time, and becoming the new king of the featherweight division.
To be honest, I never talked about the fact that I want to be the first Georgian or the first Spanish to become a UFC world champion, but the thing that it happened, it makes me feel so happy and so thankful with God. So I don't know, I just want to go back home, celebrate this win with my family.
With all of Ilia Topuria's successes and his undefeated record, there was another contender in the featherweight division lurking in the shadows, Max Holloway. Max Holloway did the unthinkable, moving up to lightweight division to face the BMF champion Justin Gaethje, and well, you know what happened. Max Holloway shook up the world that day, which eventually led him to this.
What's up, everybody? I'm back with another fight announcement live from the Etihad Arena in Fight Island, Abu Dhabi. It's UFC 308, the main event. Ilia Topuria looks to make his first title defense against the legend and BMF Max Holloway.
UFC 308 was the most anticipated card of the year ever since UFC 300, and it definitely lived up to the hype. Jeff Neal versus Rafael dos Santos. Rafael, former lightweight champion, fighting Jeff Neal, a top contender in the welterweight division. Unfortunately, on the day of the fight, Rafael dos Santos got an injury on his leg and the fight had to be stopped early in the round one. Although Jeff Neal was looking good and very strong in that fight, he did actually get a knockdown on RDA. This is never how you want to see a fight play out. The next fight on the card was quite different from the last, with Iblo Islam getting a TKO on his opponent in the first round. Moving on to the main event, it was a middleweight bout, but these two opponents actually trained together in the past, so that means they knew each other's strengths and weaknesses.
I'm best striker in this division. Israel understand, I smash you, I comb you, I beat you. The pirate is here. Pirate captured you.
His nickname is the Bullet, and he definitely proved it that night by doing a double spinning back fist and knocking out his opponent. Leon Murphy versus Dan Ige. Dan is a man who will never shy away from fighting at any time, anywhere. Dan Ige wanted to show the world what he can do with a full training camp, and the only obstacle in his way came in the form of Leon Murphy, another undefeated fighter. When the fight began, Dan Ige came out aggressive, actually knocking down his opponent at one point in time. We all thought the fight was done, but Leon Murphy recovered and put the pace on his opponent, and you could see Dan Ige was bewildered, and eventually Leon Murphy got the decision. In the light heavyweight division, there's a king that reigns supreme, Alex Poetan Pereira. Ever since moving up to light heavyweight, he's been defeating every top contender after top contender with ease. But there's one fighter everyone's questioning, Ankalaev. He did have a tough opponent in his way at UFC 308, the number 5th light heavyweight in the world. In the first round, Alexander Rakic was definitely leading the dance, but as the fight progressed and went on, you could definitely see he began to fatigue. But Ankalaev was just getting better, more comfortable, and he had a beautiful straight left on that night, which eventually got him the decision victory. After the fight was over, it left a lot of fight fans wondering, would Ankalaev be the first one to dethrone Poetan, or would the champion reign supreme? Let's talk about Khamzat Chimaev, a fighter who burst into the UFC and captivated a lot of audiences, picking up his opponents, dragging them across the ring, just dominating everyone that was put in his way. Everybody thought that Chimaev was the next one to win the championship. But there was one man standing in his way, Robert the Reaper Whittaker, former champion and someone who is still a staple in the division to this day. And he wanted to derail the Chimaev hype.
I get asked a lot of questions about Chimaev this, Chimaev that. I don't think about it. Like, You know, he's not on my mind very much. I am expecting him to come out hard and aggressive from the first second to the last, okay? And I have prepared accordingly for that. I've prepared for the hardest fight of my life to start extremely hard, like sprinting for the first 5 to 10 minutes, but also drag it out to 5 minutes. I'm ready to sprint for 25 minutes if so. And yeah, I come here for war.
As soon as the fight started, it was already over. Chimaev went for this first takedown and dominated Robert Whittaker for the rest of the round. Robert Whittaker had his moments trying to get back up, but Chimaev just was too strong, too powerful. Eventually, got the choke on Robert Whittaker, tapped desperately, but turned out the Reaper dislocated his jaw. So that remains. Hamza Chimaev is still undefeated, and now he's coming for the king of South Africa, Dricus du Plessis. But far off in the distance, Sean Strickland, a fighter who is demanding that he's next in line for the title shot. The long-anticipated fight of the year, Ilia Topuria versus Max Holloway. These two were arguably the best fighters in the division. You had a champion who was undefeated, and you had a former champion who has made moments in the UFC octagon throughout his whole career. In the lead up to the fight, Max Holloway was riding off the wave of the greatest knockout in UFC history. A lot of people thought that Max was going to be the one to dethrone Ilia Topuria.
Max taking on Ilia. Final predictions on that fight. I'm going Max. I can't bet against Max. I'm going Max by decision.
Honestly, I think Max might piece him up.
I'm a huge Holloway fan, man, so I'm going to be going for my man Holloway all day.
Every time Max fights, I just pick Max.
I think it's going to be a great fight. BMF versus the champ. It's like we haven't seen that in a while, so that'd be great. It'd be fantastic.
I respect Max because Max is a champion. Max is going to go beat Ilia Topuria, I believe.
I've already made this public a few times. I think Max would be a little bit too much for him. So I think it'd be a hard night in office for Ilia.
In my mind, I can't see him losing, but that's because I just got put to sleep on him.
The Matador, someone who was brash, outspoken, confident, and had unbelievable self-belief that no one has ever seen in a long time.
I'm different. He called himself a problem solver, but tomorrow night he's gonna have a problem in front of him calling a Matador.
Ilia Topuria stated that he would be the first man to knock out Max Holloway.
What makes me feel very excited about that fight is that no one could knock him out, and I'm like, there is no way I'm not gonna knock him out.
Topuria throughout this whole build-up was just toying with Max Holloway. Max Holloway visibly annoyed by Topuria's antics.
My friend,
no one's gonna save you two, buddy. No one's gonna be in there. Actually, there is. The referee is gonna save you, buddy. The ref is in there to save you, buddy.
For the first time, trust me. Trust me, and you will become an instant fan.
On the day of the fight, Topuria did stick to his words. He did point down to the center of the octagon, but Max Holloway wasn't buying into the antics and told him to press on. The fight was a very high-level boxing fight, definitely one of the most technical boxers in the UFC of all time. Max Holloway and Ilia Topuria definitely showed fundamentals. Max Holloway had his moments in the first round, and so did Ilia Topuria. Topuria mixed different elements with takedowns, but Max was able to get back up and have a little moments in the round 2 as well. In the second round of the fight, you could definitely see Ilia Topuria adjusting to Max Holloway's style a little bit more. And you could definitely see that Max Holloway was still on point and still locked in and just slowly trying to find his rhythm as the fight went on. The third round started a little bit similar as the last two. Then something unfamiliar happened. Topuria rocked Max Holloway, knocked him down, then got the knockout. Max Holloway's whole career, 34 fights, he's never been truly knocked out or even knocked down. But Ilia Topuria did the unthinkable and did it all in one night. It was a sad thing to see because Max Holloway is truly beloved by the MMA community and he was having a good fight until he wasn't.
Man, I felt great. I was finding my groove. We saw on the scoreboards after. I was kind of surprised by it. I thought I had it. I thought I had at least one of them, you know. The first one, I know he took me down, so... And then at the ending, he had that takedown, so... it is what it is. I felt good. Showing off my hands. I was landing. I was being fast. I think I had him surprised in there. And like I said, I was doing good until I wasn't.
Ilia Topuria really told the whole world what he was gonna do, and no one truly believed him. The El Matador has truly put his name in the history books, and he proved to everyone why he was the featherweight champion. Overall, I'll give this card a 10 out of 10, man. It was amazing. It definitely had some questionable moments, but the main and co-main eventually delivered. And if those two can always deliver, I always like to give it a score 10 out of 10. That'll be it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please just comment down below some of your thoughts on UFC 308 as a whole. Did you enjoy it? Were some of your predictions right? Tell me some of your thoughts. That'll be it for today's video, and don't forget to keep it real.